evening and welcome to SNU Chronicle. You're watching our special live telecast. We will amend our stories from the latest from the city, where stories are made, move and made incidents. Today we will discuss about three key developments that have left Kolkata shaken, a shocking story that happened at the Kolkata's metro station, and one story that amends about the viral surge that happens at the hospital, and whereas a soft news where we'll discuss about the fresh breath of air that have led city quite literally. Let's begin with our top story, that is a tragic incident that took place at Dakshineshwar metro station where a student was brutally stabbed by his classmate over a love rivalry. And the corresponding stories will be directed by our news reporter, that is Shatarupa Rai, she will share of the stories that had happened over there and then.
A shocking murder at Kolkata's Dakshineshwar metro station has shaken the city. An 18-year-old student Manojit Yadav was fatally stabbed by his classmate Rana Singh, reportedly over a love rivalry. Police say both studied at Bagh Bazar High School and had a long-standing feud linked to a girl known to Singh. On Friday afternoon, the argument began on a metro ride from Sham Bazar and turned violent after they got off at Dakshineshwar. Singh allegedly pulled out a knife from his bag and stabbed Manojit twice, one blow piercing his heart. Eyewitnesses say RPF personnel nearby failed to act as panic broke out on the platform. Manojit was rushed to a hospital and succumbed to his injuries soon after. Singh fled the scene but was arrested later at Howrah station while trying to escape to Bihar with his family. Police believe the attack was triggered by repeated clashes over the past few weeks. The incident has raised serious questions about teenage aggression, school rivalries and safety in Kolkata's metro network. This is Shatarupa Roy with camera person Adrija Das.
A disturbing yet a shocking news that has been reported by us. How a rough rivalry can lead to death whereas being classmate been stabbed, and then how it made me forcibly thing that is being concluded is that no matter what, the youth generations can be fulfilled. Moving ahead, we have our next story where we'll discuss about how the viral surge has affected Kolkata's hospital and how people are not getting their beds fulfilled by the patients. The next story is been amended by our news reporter, that is Tanupriya Chaudhary.
Kolkata's government hospitals are under huge pressure as a wave of viral infections spread across the city. The sudden rise in patients has forced hospitals to change how they admit and discharge people. In the past week, many hospitals have run out of beds in critical care units. Non-urgent admissions are being delayed. At BP Podar Hospital, all the beds have been full for days, so doctors are focusing on short day care treatments instead. At the medical college and hospital, bed occupancy is around 85% with a sharp rise in new admissions. To manage the rush, hospitals have tightened the screening at emergency and outpatient departments so that only serious patients get admitted. They are also speeding up discharges, completing paperwork early, shifting stable patients out of high dependency units and sending home those who are ready by afternoon. Planned surgeries are being postponed to make space for critical patients. For now, Kolkata's hospitals are stretched thin and patients in need of urgent care may face delays until the viral surge comes under control. This is Tanupriya Chaudhary with camera person Adrija Das.
Even though there has been a surge of movements going on in Kolkata's hospital, but we still hope for the best, how people would get their beds or doctors being treated them on time. Moving ahead, we have our next story where the data have been showing that Kolkata has been the top 3 cleanest city where the fresh air have been amended. Even though we feel that Kolkata has been on the list for a very long time, but coming up to the top 3 has been a very shocking news for us also. The next story would be concluded by our last reporter, that is Rituja Bondopadhyay, where she will be concluding how Kolkata has been shifted from one place to another on top 3.
Kolkata has emerged as the third cleanest city among 17 in the Indo-Gangetic Plain when it comes to PM 2.5 pollution levels, marking a rare environmental improvement for the city. The data recorded earlier this week places Varanasi and Lucknow ahead of Kolkata, while Ghaziabad remains the most polluted in the region. Experts credit Kolkata's better air quality to a combination of favorable weather patterns, including delayed monsoon withdrawal, late rainfall and steady wind flow, which helped wash away and disperse fine particulate matter. Officials from the West Bengal Pollution Control Board say that stricter vehicle emission checks, construction controls, and regular road cleaning have further supported the improvement. However, the environmental scientists warn that the trend may not last. With the onset of winter, air quality in most Indo-Gangetic cities typically worsens due to the stagnant winds and higher emissions. Sustaining Kolkata's cleaner air will require continued monitoring, policy enforcement, and public cooperation. For now, the residents can breathe a little easier, but the coming months will test if this improvement can truly hold. This is Ritoja Bandyopadhyay with camera person Adrija Das.
Even it's heartening to see how Kolkata has been developing or how its fresh air is been rising, whereas we are also pressuring about other stories that about the death or not people getting the hospital. But even though everyone is working on their own department, whereas they want to comment to the emergency, even though we will conclude it with how top 3 of the stories had been concluded on today's or the Kolkata's amendment. We are very thank you for watching this bulletin and stay tuned for more in-depth stories where I'm Sneha Hansa and you're watching SNU Chronicle Live.